3, 2. Welcome back. Good to be back here. Feel good. Let's just get right into this. Chris, 2.0. Back in the flesh.
I should be 1.0 since I'm back on the debut, shouldn't I? Shouldn't Chris 1.0 be Chris 2.0?
Yeah, you're officially 1.0. How does it feel?
It feels good. Feels good to be moving up in the world. Proud of myself. Making big strides.
Are you guys getting pelted up there too? Or is it just...
No, we're good. It's cold, but the snow's all like within Buffalo, where it should be. Whatever.
Yes, keep it there, right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it wouldn't affect either of us.
No, not at all.
All right. So we're going to just go NFL here. We're just going to, our plan is here in our 2-hour-long pre-podcast planning session is just to go through each division and let's just talk about it.
We'll assess where we're at, It's kind of it's been a while, so.
It has been. You know what, fuck it. Let's just start with the AFC East and your Patriots. I'll let you take the floor on this one. How do you feel?
I'm very pleasantly surprised at the way that this team kind of dusted itself off after that beatdown in Kansas City, especially with that huge win against Denver, and then even most recently this Sunday night against the Colts. It was good just to see them. Their schedule goes Denver, Indy, we got Detroit this week, and then next week is Green Bay, and then it's San Diego the following week. So it's definitely kind of a murderer's row of teams that are.
They've just been winning, so it doesn't.
Yeah, but after the Kansas City game, after I looked at that schedule and I said, "Oh crap," it could go one of two ways, and thankfully with Denver losing again to St. Louis this last week, we're comfortably in the 1 seed and in the driver's seat. So, and the rest of the division's just trash. So it makes me feel pretty confident.
Wait a second, hold on. I'm going to stop you right there because my Dolphins are surging right now. I don't know about surging, but listen, I don't know.
They already beat the Pats this year. I understand.
What's the consensus like? Because I know you guys have won the division every year since 1967. Is it 1967 is the last time you did?
I think it was like 58.
Okay. All right, yeah. Well, hey, you can't win them all, right? Are you scared of the Dolphins?
I'm not scared of the Dolphins coming to Gillette in December or whenever they play next. That doesn't scare me at all.
You're not what's a bit nervous of the Ryan Tannehill.
They played them week 1, and the defense wasn't what it is now. I think without obviously not having No. Sean Moreno, who torched us last time, is a big difference. I think Miami could definitely be a playoff team. But I don't think that they're capable of getting past the divisional round. I think maybe they can win a wild card game, but outside of that, I don't think that they're a Final Four-esque team. They're good. I think Tannehill's improved a lot, but I think without that running game that really beat the Pats down in week 1, I don't think that they can beat New England.
Okay, let me give you this one though. Miami has a great defensive line. Great defense in general, but their defensive line is great. Yep. They can get pressure with 4 guys. They don't have to blitz anybody. They really don't. I mean, from what I've seen, I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched every Miami snap, but I haven't seen a lot of blitzes. You're not scared of them getting pressure with 4 guys and Brady having to work through. I mean, I would be a little nervous about it.
Yeah, that's obviously been the blueprint to beat the Patriots. Obviously, the Giants kind of came up with that. And I think Detroit will do the same thing this weekend because they have pretty much one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. Yeah. So I think having said that, it kind of scares me a little bit, but by no means am I think with the offense having improved as much as it has, and it seems like we're getting a running game going. Jonas Gray, obviously, last week could be an anomaly, but they signed LeGarrette Blount again today.
I saw that. I couldn't believe it. I'm so happy.
But yeah, I mean, with the way that he ran the ball last year for them, it could be good. I think Miami is capable of beating the Patriots, but I think in the cold weather up here in the winter, it'll be tougher for them.
No, you know what? I'm gonna just cards on the table. The Patriots are obviously the best team in the division. Like I'm not sitting here saying Miami's better or anything. I'm just trying to see what I'm just trying to throw some shit at you, see what you think. Here's the real question though: are you afraid of the Kyle Orton-led Bills? That's really what we need to talk about.
No, I don't think the Bills. If the Bills can ever get like, not be covered in 8 feet of snow, maybe they'll be.
You know what? They'll time out. I like their skill position guys.
I do too, but they, like you said, Kyle Orton.
Well, right. And if anybody knows about Kyle Orton, it's this guy.
It's true. You know.
Hey, I may have missed it. I was pretty busy yesterday. What exactly happened with LeGarrette Blount? Do we know? Does anybody know?
Apparently he was just pissy that he wasn't getting the touches that they said he was going to get. But when you're behind Le'Veon Bell, like, what are you supposed to do?
That dude was running for, like, what was he at? He was at, like, 13 yards a carry at that point.
Yeah, he's a monster. So the way that I look at it is if you're going to complain about it, at least, have some ground to stand on. Not when you're, like, if you're behind. If you're like in a running back by committee type thing, go nuts. Be as pissed off as you want to. But when you're behind a guy who's so consistent, there's absolutely no reason. You have no right to complain. But whatever, I'll take him. Especially, we lost Ridley earlier this year, and we don't really have like a true power running game. So.
Oh, except for Jonas Gray.
Yeah, but that could be a one-game thing. You know what I mean?
Probably, of course, it will. You know what? I'm
not even care about the 4 touchdowns. I just mean like him actually running the ball. I know the Colts run defense is awful, but.
Yeah. I mean, here's what I think. I think that Bill Belichick hates fantasy football so much. He hates it so much that he's built his entire career on screwing over owners of Patriots running backs. What do you think about that? Because I think that's important.
I hope he's not trying to screw me. I got Vereen, so.
I also have Vereen. I had Ridley last year, and you know what? Like I've decided
they've just gone so far away from the run game, and they don't really when they. If you had Gronkowski to throw the ball to, and like Edelman's been great, LaFell's been great, like they have no real reason to run the ball outside of setting up play action, which puts Gronk up the seam, and then any goal line touches. Like they haven't been a running team since Antoine Smith, which was 2003. So
oh God,
that guy has a Super Bowl ring. Just remember that.
Must be nice, dude. Here's the thing, though. Like the thing about Gronk is. Like,
if he gets hurt, the Patriots are really.
Oh, yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, they're back to the Chiefs Patriots. I mean, they have nobody on the outside, and the only reason those dudes get open is because Gronk sucks everybody in the middle.
That's true.
But here's the thing, Gronk what Gronk does is the defense can't come in. Like they can't come into the line of scrimmage because Gronk's just gonna run past them. Exactly. So they have to stay back. So that helps the running game,
yeah, a little bit. I mean,
you can. But that's the thing is, why don't they just run the ball all the time? I don't get it. It's
having lost Ridley, Vereen's not really a true guy to hand the ball to. He's more of a screen back and a pass catching back. So it's kind of hard for him to do anything carrying the ball out of the backfield. But having Gray and now Blount, hopefully it'll lead to a little bit more balanced offense.
It's so funny. Who are you talking? Listen to who you're talking about. It's yeah, now we got Jonas Gray.
Believe me. Yeah, he's like a crack hero up here, dude. You should believe. It's unbelievable.
I don't get so annoying. I guess transition from LeGarrette Blount to the AFC North, where I don't think any team is good. I think there's some good players, but I don't think anybody's good.
Well, there was an Andy Dalton debacle where he couldn't complete a pass. What was that, Thursday night a few weeks ago? And then Roethlisberger was setting the world on fire. And the Ravens have been kind of quiet for a while. But they've been winning. And then there was the Browns who were magically in first place all of a sudden.
That's what I'm saying. They're not good. Browns aren't good. Are they good?
I don't think they're good, but I don't think they're terrible.
I mean, I don't think anybody's. The Bengals. I wouldn't trust the Bengals with my iPod. The Steelers are what the Steelers are. They're inconsistent and play to their competition. The Ravens are God. I mean, I guess maybe the Ravens are okay, right? I mean, the stats, just rough stats. I mean, they've got a pretty okay defense based on points against, and I mean, they've scored pretty much a league average clip. Are they good? Are they?
I don't know. I think that their defense obviously isn't what it was, and as long as Flacco's throwing the ball around, he's fine. They'll be all right. I don't think. I don't know. They're tough. Obviously, having lost Ray Rice earlier in the year was a big blow to them. Their run game has not been.
Big blow to them. Did you do that on purpose?
No, but that's just hilarious now that I think of it. I think the Ravens could be one of those teams that gets the 5 seed and rolls through the playoffs like they did a few years ago.
Oh, absolutely. Oh no, in the NFL it absolutely does not matter what seed you are. You could be the 95th seed, but if you're in the playoffs, you have just as much of a chance to win as anybody.
Yeah,
it's just about getting there, which is absolutely crazy, and that's why I think the NFL is what it is this year, is because everybody knows that just get there. You can drop a game, that's fine, but just get there. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably the only division without a team that doesn't have like a question mark. Like I said, the Bengals, I wouldn't trust them with my iPod. The Steelers are just always inconsistent. The Browns are, I mean, what are the Browns? Are they really a 6-4 team? Or are they more like we should probably be 3-7?
I think they'll end right around 500, but I don't think that they're a playoff team. I think maybe Josh Gordon comes back and makes that big of a difference. I don't know.
But I feel like Josh Gordon's kind of like that shooting guard in the NBA that puts up good stats, but like doesn't really help a team win that much.
Yeah, I hear you.
You get what I'm saying with that? Let me look up the Browns' schedule right now. Let me do a quick.
I'm not really sure what they're thinking too, because having just cut Ben Tate, I know they have Isaiah Crowell and Terrence West, so their running game seems to be okay if they can afford to cut Ben Tate. Hoyer's been consistent, so
I think what it was is they realized after once Mac went down that there was like, they didn't really have, the running game wasn't gonna get any like better really. It was gonna be what it was, and so I think they were just like, I mean, what's the difference between Ben Tate and Isaiah Crowell? Like
money.
Yeah, I guess right. That's exactly right. All right, here we go. Here's what we got. They got 4 road games left. The road games are Atlanta, Bills, Panthers, and Ravens.
I feel like almost all of those games are winnable in my mind.
Yeah, every single one, right? I mean, winnable.
The Ravens obviously being the tough one, probably.
Yeah, and then their home games are Colts, which they'll probably just get smoked.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Cincinnati at home, which is also winnable. So, I mean, you're looking at 5 winnable games.
Right, and that puts them at, what, 11-5?
Yeah, which it was that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, why not? Like, why not? In this season, there's no reason there's no reason that couldn't happen.
True.
Like, that's not, like, you'd really be that shocked that the Browns won this nonsense?
No, I wouldn't be shocked at all. It's just there's so much parity in that league that's eventually something's going to have to give.
Yeah.
Because what happens if there's 4 teams sitting at 10-6 when the season's over? Well, obviously they can't because the Bengals have a loss actually. I mean a tie, so that can't happen.
So 3 teams at 10-6 and the Bengals at 9-6-1.
Yeah. Or 10-5-1, and then that puts them in the playoffs.
Yeah, what is that? What it was? 10-5-1. Sure. Yeah, that's crazy. Would they win the division, right?
They have to, because I mean their winning percentage would be higher.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Or that's the tiebreak.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess they would win the division. Yeah, they had the least losses. So
I don't know. I'm not sure what the NFL tiebreaker rules are. So
I think it's division record. I think it goes head to head, then division record.
Yeah, I got nothing
about that. Don't quote me. But how about from a gambling sense? Would you ever put any money on any 4 of these teams?
No. Like I said, the only team that really intrigues me, it would be Baltimore, just because I feel like they could kind of repeat what they did a few years ago. Just come out of nowhere. I think they're the kind of team that can do that. I think I don't really have any faith in the other teams. Like you said, Pittsburgh's been wackily inconsistent. Roethlisberger's been fantastic, or he's been a garbage fire. So, I think that it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. For sure.
The Ravens have won a Super Bowl already by getting a lot of pass interference calls, and they could absolutely do that twice. I mean, why not? Why not Joe Flacco just chuck it deep 50 times? Get 5 pass interference calls that give you 250 free yards, and then you just make the play from there, which is just miserable to think about that that's the case. But we both know it is.
That's the NFL.
Like, it's unfortunate, but we both know that that's the case.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the NFL in this day and age.
Speaking of pass interference calls and throwing it 50 times, let's go to the AFC West, where we have one team, the Raiders, who are clearly the cream of the crop.
Yep.
And then it goes from there. It's interesting to see the Chiefs and Broncos are both 7-3, and the Chargers, like it's any three of those teams could win it.
Yeah. I know the sexy pick at the start of the year was San Diego, and
It was.
and they're sitting at 6-4 right now. Like I said, when the Broncos lost last week to St. Louis, that kind of mixed things around a little bit, just because the Chiefs are on a 5-game win streak, and San Diego is kind of I think San Diego and Kansas City are both kind of strange because they've already both played Denver and gotten smoked.
Right.
But they're still within striking distance. I know that the Chargers have to play the Patriots, but I think that's I'm almost 100% sure that's in San Diego, so that's beneficial to them. And then I think that the Chiefs, the Chargers' schedule is not exactly easy moving forward. They have the Rams, who are surging right now. Then they have Baltimore, New England, and Denver back to back. Then followed by the Niners and the Chiefs. So they definitely have some tough sledding in front of them.
So they play Peyton, Tom Brady. Who else did you say? Peyton.
It goes at home versus St. Louis, at Baltimore. Then they get the Pats and Broncos back to back at home, and then they go on the road versus San Francisco and Kansas City. So they'll get Flacco, Brady, Manning, and Kaepernick back to back to back to back.
I mean, that's rough. That's not bad.
That's bad. Yeah.
You know, it's not that the whole at San Francisco thing isn't as big of a deal for them because they're also out west too. So
that's true.
That whole thing of it isn't that big of a deal. But I mean, it's not like it's easy to just beat San Francisco at home. That sounds like 500 to me. I mean, that sounds like 3-3, right? So
that would put them right at 10-6, which could get them in the playoffs again, no problem.
Yeah.
And then 3-3 would put them at 9-7. I apologize. The Chiefs actually play Oakland twice, so that's
they still have two Raiders. Yeah, and then they got Broncos at home and Chargers at home.
Yeah, and they have to play Arizona too, which could be
in the nest.
Yeah, which is a tough game too. So I think that those teams could both probably play about 500 football. One of them's going to have to win a game that they shouldn't, or aren't favored in to kind of make a difference.
No,
and try to squeeze in the playoffs.
Here's what's happening. I'm going to tell you exactly what happens with the Chiefs from here on out. You ready?
Yep. Bracing myself.
Pen and paper out, everything.
Yep.
Here's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to go to the Raiders. This is tomorrow, right?
It's tonight.
Oh, tonight, I mean, yes. It's this Thursday we're recording this. They're going to go to the Raiders tonight, and they're going to win 13-10. It's going to be one of those games that the Raiders are up 10-0, and then it's going to be a super slow comeback, like an all-field goal comeback.
I can't wait to watch it. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it.
I'm not either.
That's what's going to happen. So they're going to get that win because this is the biggest trap game. If there was ever a trap game, this is it.
Oh, Thursday night game? Absolutely. 5
straight wins on a Thursday night at Oakland. And and Oakland's winless. This is a trap game. But I think the Chiefs still pull it out. When I'm probably going to look like an idiot either way tonight. Then they're going to beat the Broncos. I'm telling you, I'm going to call this right now. At home, they're going to beat the Broncos. It's a Monday night game. Or a Sunday night game. And I think they're going to beat the Broncos. They're going to lose to the Cardinals, so where are they at? They're at 2-1 now. They're going to beat the Raiders at home. They're going to go into Pittsburgh and win like 31-29. And then they're going to lose to the Chargers. So they're going, what do I got them at? 4-2 the rest of the way, right? Is that what I just said?
That'll put them at 11-5.
I got them at 11-5. I have a very strong feeling.
Is this going to be just like last year where 3 AFC West teams get into the playoffs?
I think that the Chargers' offensive line problems are going to be their undoing. Like they're just hurt. I mean, they're just too hurt. You can't if you're playing third stringers at center and fourth stringers at guard. I mean, it's just not. I don't think so.
Yeah, so put Denver and Kansas City in the playoffs from that division. I feel pretty confident about that.
And the Chiefs the Chiefs win it, so they get the home game in the first round. The Broncos are a wild card team this year. I'm calling it right now.
All right, but yeah, I believe that's believable. I mean, for sure.
And then the Chiefs also lose in the first round to whoever they're playing.
Of course,
yeah,
it's Kansas City.
Obviously. Let's see. We moving on from this, or I mean, do we?
Yeah, might as well. We can move on to.
We didn't even touch the Broncos. I mean,
what is there to say besides that they lost to Seattle and New England, which is I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of.
No.
And then St. Louis is
kind of good.
St. Louis beat Seattle and Denver.
Okay, with Stone Cold Steve Austin Davis at quarterback, they're okay.
Yeah, they do okay.
I'm gonna say my thoughts on him till we get there. I love that dude. Yeah, the Broncos are who they are. They're gonna get the playoffs, and we just kind of got to see which Peyton Manning shows up that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All right. AFC
lovely
South.
AFC South. Ugh.
Yeah. Okay, so the Colts are good. Okay, sorry, let me start over. Andrew Luck is really good.
He's awesome.
J.J. Watt's really good. And the Titans and Jaguars are both really bad.
Yep.
Right? I mean, that's what we know for sure. Those are all for sure. Those are all absolutes.
Yeah, I would say so.
What?
I mean, the Jaguars' number one running back is Denard Robinson, so that just kind of speaks volumes.
What I heard about that, when I heard that that's what was happening, I didn't believe. I thought ESPN updates were lying to me. I was like, no, there's no way that anyone's starting Denard Robinson at running back in the NFL. No way. And I was like, okay, fine. He's gonna get 5 carries and he's gonna get hurt. But nope, he's actually kind of a good running back.
The Toby Gerhart experiment didn't really work out, so.
I mean, what were they thinking? They give him $21 million? I mean, they're not. He's not going to get. He's going to get cut, right? For sure.
He has to with that amount of money. Yeah, I don't know why not.
Why would they even pretend that was a good idea?
It's a wonderful question.
Has there ever? I mean, this is my second time today bringing up race into a topic, but I mean, why would you sign a white running back to a $21 million contract?
I don't know, man.
What are we doing? What are we in the is it 1940? What's going on?
Yep, Larry Zonka.
I don't understand. All right, so the Colts are what? Are the Colts Super Bowl contenders? Are the Colts?
I think that they're on the precipice of being Super Bowl contenders. I feel like their run defense is terrible.
Yeah.
As was showcased on Sunday night, but their offense can be great. Obviously, in the playoffs last year, they had that great comeback against Kansas City, and they kind of hung with the Pats in the divisional round for a little bit. But they need to shore up their defense. Obviously, Andrew Luck is a total game changer for them. Losing Ahmad Bradshaw was huge.
That's rough. That sucks.
So I think obviously those injuries notwithstanding, I think that they could have been like an AFC championship game type team. Kind of like the Jets were a few years ago. They get there, they're kind of just happy to be here type thing. And but I think that they're right there. They're close. I think they need a few more pieces, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
I have a question for you, and I know this is going to be kind of hard for you to answer because you're a Patriots fan.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any quarterback that you think is scarier in the fourth quarter down 15? Down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Is there any scarier quarterback in the league than Andrew Luck?
I would up until recently, I probably would have said Peyton Manning, just because I know that he can still chuck the ball around. But yeah, Andrew Luck scares the crap out of me, mostly because he can do a lot of stuff with his feet too. And I think that because he can kind of change plays on the fly and do things with his legs, it is definitely terrifying. Yeah, every time, even on Sunday, every time that he got the ball and the Patriots were up by like a touchdown or 10, I was petrified that he was just going to work some luck magic and all of a sudden we were going to be down by 2 scores.
Yeah, when I was watching the condensed game, like I work on Sundays, so I just basically watch like those little like condensed games that the NFL Network has.
Yep.
And I mean, it's hard to tell. I'm just waiting. All right, here's the comeback. Here's where Andrew Luck just slangs dragons all over. Like here it comes. Like here it comes. Like I didn't even think that it was like a possibility. More so that I was resigned to the fact that it was coming. Like no one scares me more. And the reason I mentioned that you're a Patriots fan, and that's why it's tough for you to say, because exactly the answer you gave. Like you have so many contests with Peyton Manning. Like you've gone against him so many times in so many big games that like just you remember those like memories come flooding back to you. You know.
Yeah.
I don't really have that. Like that's Aaron Rodgers to me, but Aaron Rodgers to me is less. Like I'm less scared of him. I'm more so just bone-chillingly terrified of that man. So it's not really even in the same league. He is in another league to himself. But so you think Peyton is?
I just because I've been on the other side of it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think until Andrew Luck does something to me until I have a personal vendetta against the man.
It might be this year.
Yeah, it could be. You never know. I think he's definitely, out of the new class of quarterbacks, he is definitely that guy. He will have that reputation. You know, no lead is safe type thing. Especially, like I said, if he can work some of his luck magic, he's terrifying.
Oh my God, no, he's frightening. He's Michael Myers, like just kind of just there. You know he's behind you. You know he's coming. Like you know. You can't really run far. Like, you just keep tripping whenever you try to run away from him. He just always is right behind you, you know? So, I mean, the Texans they're nothing, right? They're just kind of 5-5 for whatever reason.
They're starting Ryan Mallett at quarterback, dude. And like
that's... former Michigan quarterbacks getting crazy plugs on this show right now.
Just
like he wasn't even any good in college. Like, is it just because he's tall and like handsome and like has a strong arm?
Did they win that Sugar Bowl when he was at Arkansas?
No, I don't think so.
When they played Ohio State, I don't remember.
No, he didn't. I think Ohio State won that because that was like what Ohio State fans like go back to, and I think when they're like, oh well, we beat Arkansas.
That's just like how memorable that game is to me, obviously.
Right. I mean, his entire career at Michigan was like the least memorable thing ever. I mean, I just remember him being like, oh, he came out and it was like his second game starting was against Wisconsin, and they just, you know, he came out and did Ryan Mallett things, and Wisconsin won, for obviously, because he was Ryan Mallett. I don't know. I think it's because he's tall, handsome, and has a strong arm that people think he's a good quarterback.
There was some crazy stat that like his QB rating this weekend, like if he got the ball out under a certain amount of time, it was like something ridiculous, like near perfect. But if he held onto the ball for more than 3 seconds, he was like his QB rating was like 30. So if he can get the ball out quick, he's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, teams will figure that out real quick and just jam every receiver at the line. Like they'll just figure that out. That's doesn't take.
Well, plus I mean, Andre Johnson's not the same guy he was, and DeAndre Hopkins isn't exactly a world beater, so.
I like DeAndre Hopkins.
I do too, but he's not.
I think if he played with if he was on the Patriots, he would have monster stats. Is what I'm basically.
Like, so you mean like Brandon LaFell's turning into? It's wonderful.
Yeah, he just really LaFell into Belichick's lap. You know, it's just unbelievable how this keeps happening.
Terrible puns. This podcast has not changed a bit.
You know what's funny about that joke is I make it. Here's what happened this year in my fantasy draft. I make that every single year that somebody drafts Brandon LaFell. And a friend of mine planned it for like 2 weeks. He planned on stealing the joke from me, and he did it. And he told people he was gonna do it. And I just stared at him. And I'm like, "Are you serious, dude?" I've held a grudge against him ever since.
It's all right.
I've seen him steal twice since then. We were best friends before that. I don't even like him anymore. So who are we putting in the playoffs? In the AFC, we got Patriots. We put in the playoffs. Obviously, we put the Dolphins in the playoffs for sure.
So let's go based off of we'll go by order, I guess, of seeding. I guess that makes the most sense, right?
Yeah, I got Patriots as my 1 seed.
Yep.
I don't know if you're down with me, but I put the Chiefs at 11-5.
Yeah, that would put them in the 2 slot probably, barring some team from the the AFC North going 11-5.
Yeah, maybe.
So all right. So let's do this. Let's go. Pats, Chiefs, Broncos, Colts.
Well, Broncos would be a wild card team because they're in the division.
So Pats, Broncos, Chiefs, Colts.
Yeah.
Dolphins, and then whoever wins the AFC North. So who's your pick to win the AFC North?
We only have one AFC North team in the playoffs.
I think that they're going to be like it's either 2 teams in the AFC North or the Dolphins are out.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's the swing. That's the swing because because the Broncos, Chiefs, and Patriots are locks.
Right.
Colts are a lock because they're going to just win their division. So there's what 2 spots? Did I just leave 2 spots open?
So if we do the 4 division winners plus the Broncos. So that's going to leave either an AFC North team or the Dolphins.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean that sounds about right? You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with them. I'll take what the hell? Give me Pittsburgh to take the AFC North.
Wow, okay. So our the 6 playoff teams that we just decided on: Pats, Dolphins, Steelers, Broncos, Chiefs, Colts.
That works for me.
Yeah, it sounds about right. It'll probably